Welcome back to the Week in 7 Questions, and welcome to our guest of the week, Jan Techau. What's the mood in Berlin? Is Merkel forever?
No, but she's just so at home and there's a good crisis going on. The government speaks, it spends, it acts, and it announces. And so she's center stage again. People trust her and her popularity ratings have gone up again. And so admittedly, she looks a bit tired, but I think she's going to be around for just a little bit longer.
EU in the grip of the pandemic. So is the glass half full? Is it half empty? Or does it have to be redesigned?
I think the member states need to decide whether they actually want to fill that glass and then drink from it. There was some sleepwalking in the beginning of this crisis, and then they put the financial tools that they need to manage it together actually rather quickly. Whether some deeper or much deeper integration will spring from this is very, very unclear, much less clear than some of the optimists will want you to believe.
Putin and Xi Jinping, are they garnering support in Europe through their PR fireworks, or will they end up shooting themselves in the foot?
Well, I think the bad news is that they could actually become less popular in Europe, but still much more influential. Not so much because Europeans want that, but because they will find it much harder to fend it off in the future. They might actually just be too broke to resist Beijing's money and therefore also Beijing's influence.
Is the Franco-German relationship doomed, or is there light at the end of the tunnel?
Germany and France together were key to breaking the Dutch resistance to making the ESM funds available to the needy countries with not too many strings attached. And that was a good thing. But that was crisis management. Whether there's some strategic convergence here on some of the big issues like foreign policy or Euro governance or the economy in general, that's a very different question. They're really hailing from two different strategic planets here. So my guess is don't expect too much.
And what's happening to cross-channel relations between the EU27 and Britain in the time of Corona?
Well, Bojo and his merry gang of pranksters, if you will, they decided that even with that virus out there on the killing spree, the EU was an enemy and not really a partner. And when you have nothing to show for back home, that's perhaps what you want to do, because it's always good to snipe a little bit at the bloody continentals. But that could be funny, but it isn't. It's just brainless.
What about the rules-based global order? Is it doomed?
Corona has accelerated the speed at which Donald Trump says bye-bye to international cooperation. And that really is the most massive blow to the rules-based international order, because it encourages the Chinese to rewrite the rules, and it encourages all of those little Trumplings to actually poison their democracies back home. So I think it's fair to say that the rules-based international order has actually seen much better days.
Jan, you've always been a fan of comic books. So which superhero would you turn to these days?
It's a tough one, but I think it must be Radioactive Man from The Simpsons. He's this guy in red tights, and he's very disoriented, but also very determined. And the main stunt that he has to pull off in all of these episodes is not to save the world or prevent some horrible disaster from happening. It is actually to escape death narrowly himself. And that to me very much sounds like a hero after the European Union's taste.
Right. Thank you, Jan. And thank you all for watching, and see you next week with our following mystery guest.